Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. So today once again I'm back at the one of one showroom where last week I made a video with the GLE 450 that was new for 2022, and this week I'm here to take a look at the GLS 450 that's also new for 2022. So in this video I'll let you know basically everything you need to know about the GLS and all the new features that have been added for the 22 model year. And before we go ahead and take a look at the car itself or the SUV, I just wanted to say thanks to one of one because they have been supporting me for quite a long time and I have made a lot of videos in this showroom as well. So to show my appreciation, I just wanted you guys to follow them on their Instagram and the Snapchat. For the links for both will be in the description as well. So I just wanted to say that. And also if you're new to the channel, do leave a like and also do subscribe to the channel as well, and also turn on your notifications so that you will be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the car. Alright guys, so here it is, the 2022 GLS 450, and first things first, I'll let you know about the price itself. So the GLS 450 is 520,000 reals. I'll convert it into dollars for you guys, and just keep in mind the prices in Saudi Arabia are a bit higher when you compare it to the markets like the US and Europe due to the import taxes and VAT and that stuff. And let's talk about the design now. So the design is basically unchanged from the previous model year, and the only thing they have added for the 22 model year is a new paint option that is called Cirrus Silver. And this particular GLS has the AMG package. So the AMG package, what you get basically is you get different front bumper which has a bit more sportier look, you can say that, and also you can get a night package. So all the chrome that you see over here and up top on the grille as well, that will be blacked out. Only this parts will stay in chrome, this slats over here, while all this brushed part will be in black. Then here are the headlights, and I do like the GLS headlights more than the GLE headlights right over here. For some reason I think they look a bit more smarter and they don't look a bit funky. Those headlights look a lot funkier to me, but I like the design of this one. So you have nice LED DRL which goes up top, and you have two more right over here, and these same DRLs turn to your indicator as well. So that's how the indicators work. And these are, by the way, full adaptive LED headlights, which means they do that stuff where they blank out part of their beam so that they don't dazzle oncoming riders. And let's see what other functions do they have. So this part is basically a fake vent, it's just there for design. But over here you can see we have an air breather which allows the air to flow smoothly down the side. The grills, this part is obviously open up, so it can provide air to the radiators inside, and the below part is also opened up. So you have your camera here for your 360 degree, you have your parking sensors, then you have your largest 3-point star I've ever seen, by the way. And I have already made a video with the Maybach GLS or the Mercedes Maybach GLS, and that is the only, I think, SUV that doesn't have a Mercedes badge on the grille. Instead it has that ornament on the hood itself. And you can see all the radars for the cruise control and safety systems are hidden over behind that, and there are some more over there up top. So let's talk about the paint now. So this paint is called emerald green, and right now under the showroom lights it doesn't show up properly. I think it will be best be shown if you go for, or if you keep the car outside, it will look a lot better. I hope I can just show it to you a bit clearly. So you can see the paint right about there. It's pretty tough to show because of the reflections going all around, but that is the paint option, emerald green, and I think it's one of my favorite paint options for the GLS. It looks pretty nice and classy. It suits the personality of the car. So now let's take a look at the side, and first things first, the wheels. These are massive wheels, 23 inches. And despite being 23 inches, I think this suits the car very well, or the SUV, because the SUV itself is so large and they fill out the wheel arch pretty well. Currently I have the SUV set in sports mode, so the suspension is pretty low as it can go, and because of that it gives it a nice stance as well. So the size of this front tire is obviously, like I told you, 23 inches, but the wheel is or the tire is 285 section with a 40 series sidewall, and that's it. These brakes are also pretty huge, but these are the standard brakes, by the way. If you want, you can get even larger front discs, which will obviously provide better stopping power. On the suspension side of things, this one has the standard air suspension. It does not have the e-active body control. So the e-active body control allows the SUV to lean into the corners like a motorcycle, and also if you're in the off-road or you're stuck somewhere in the off-road, it will help the car to bounce and move out of it. But this particular GLS does not have that. So here in Saudi Arabia, basically we have three variants for the GLS. So we have the 450 itself, then we have the 580, and then we have the AMG 63S. And I know in some markets the V8 has been discontinued, but here in Saudi Arabia we are getting it. So the 580 and the 63S. Also the 450 itself comes in two versions. So one is the premium and then the other is the premium plus. With the premium plus you do get some extra standard features, but that's about it. And since I told you this one does not have the AMG night package, all the window surrounds, as you can see over here, are in chrome. Also the roof rails are in chrome. Then the door handles, you have some chrome detailing up top. The mirrors are body colored with the green up top over here. Then down below we have nice footsteps which are illuminated, by the way. Then we come to the rear, and one more thing I just wanted to say, since I have been walking on the side, this is a pretty big car, and the way they have designed it, it does look pretty good. When you compare it to something like Escalade and Lincoln Navigator, they look pretty huge due to their boxy design, but due to the way Mercedes have designed the GLS, it looks pretty compact, but it is not. Then the rear tire is right over here. So again 23-inch rim, but the size of the tire is obviously bigger at the rear. It's a 325 section tire with 35 series sidewall. The brake option which I told you, you can get a larger front brake. That doesn't apply to the rear brake. The rear brake is standard as it is. You don't get an option to get a bigger size, but that's about it. Also one more thing I just wanted to say, I do like the overall side profile of the GLS as well, more than the I think GLE. I think it just suits the design better, much better. I think if this was a bit longer also it would have looked much better. But I think this design language suits the GLS the best. Also one more thing I forgot to mention, these wheel arches, if you go for the AMG package, they are body colored and the paint just shows up pretty nicely over here. You can just see the flakes. Then we come to the back, and the rear design is also pretty nice. You have nice wraparound LED tail lights. You can see the LED detailing in them, pretty nice. And this is how your indicator works right over here. And then you have your GLS 450 badge with your 4MATIC badge. That is the name for Mercedes's four-wheel drive system. You have the three-pointed star over there, and that's it. Up top on the roof spoiler though, you have an option of getting an extra higher one, but I don't think it suits the car that well. This is nice and simple and it looks the best. Down below on the bumper you have chrome detailing again. If you go for the night package, that will be in black, but you do have some fake exhaust. Yep, dual fake exhaust. For some reason Mercedes do that. I don't like it though, but that's about it. And I think it's a pretty smart looking SUV overall. Now let's take a look at the boot space, since we are done with the exterior. And to open the boot, you have a button in the interior. You can do it by the key fob. I'll just show the key fob to you guys. So here's the key fob. It's a standard Mercedes key, and that's it. And also you have a button to open it from here, and let's do that. So you can see it's an electrically operated boot. And let me tell you the stats about it. So behind, as you can see, GLS is a 7-seater, by the way. So behind the third row, you have around 17.4 cubic feet of space. That's like 492 liters, which I think is pretty good, despite, even though the seats are up. And I think it's a pretty usable space as well, since it's nice and square shape. Then if you fold down the rear seats, which you can do by pressing this button right over here. So you can see I press this, and for some reason it's not doing it. It's a bit temperamental, I believe. There we go. Okay, so I'll just show it to you this way. So if you fold down these third row seats, you do get, and also one more thing, you can see how flat it stays down. So with the third row folded, you do get 42.7 cubic feet of space. That's like 1209 liter. Keep in mind, it takes into this numbers which I'm telling you, takes in this full space. It's not just below the load cover. It takes the full space. So that's why it's 1209 liters. And if you fold the second row seats, which you can do from right over here, and I hope they should do that. Yeah, there we go. It's folded down, electrically operated again. So with those seats folded down, in total you have 84.7 cubic feet of space, which is like 2400 liters of space. So overall pretty nice. And you do have some storage spaces, I believe. down below. Yep, there it is. This one has a spare tire, but around it you can see there is a lot of space itself, and you have some 12-volt sockets and some hooks and all that stuff. This, I don't think you can fit it inside. Maybe you can, I'm not sure. And that's it. So now that we have taken a look at the exterior, what we'll do now is take a look at what's powering the GLS 450. So let's take a look at the engine bay of the GLS 450. Let me just find it. Yes, and there we go. So that's the engine bay of the GLS 450. One detail I do like about the engine bay area, I also liked it in the GLE as well, is this carbon fiber over here. It does look pretty nice, and it obviously helps to keep this part stiff and light as well. So let's talk about the engine now. And the GLS 450 comes with the same 3-liter inline 6 that comes in most of the Mercedes cars that have the 450 badge. So that includes the GLE and also the S-Class 450. And this one has 362 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. That's like 500 Newton meters. And you have a 9-speed automatic which is attached to the engine. But between the engine and the transmission as well, you do have a small 48-volt battery which acts as a starter motor as well. So basically this is the mild hybrid system which we call it, and Mercedes's name is EQ Boost for it. And that small 48-volt motor actually provides 21 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. That's like 249 Newton meters of torque when you press the accelerator fully. So it provides additional boost. And overall, again, like I told you, this is 4MATIC, so that means 4-wheel drive, and the whole package allows this SUV, which actually weighs around 5,600 pounds. That's like 2,540 kilos. That is pretty heavy though. But altogether, this package allows the SUV to go from 0 to 100 in around 6 seconds. It depends on the conditions. It can even do a 5.8. So that is the range, 5.8 to 6 seconds for 0 to 100. It all depends on the conditions though, but it can do it. And that's pretty impressive considering the size of this SUV. But obviously, if you want more power in an SUV like this, you have the options for the 580, which might not be available in some markets. And then you also have the 63S. That is obviously the most bonkers one out of the range, because that has a lot of power. You also have the Maybach, which I told you, but that has a detuned version of the AMG engine, and that's meant for, it's not meant for performance, it's meant for a smooth way to travel. So now that we have taken a look at the engine bay, let's move on to the interior. So before we go ahead and take a look at the interior, I just want to say that if you're enjoying the video so far, do leave a like, and also do subscribe to the channel as well, and also turn on your notifications so that you will be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. All this obviously helps me out because it recommends my videos to other people all around the world, and also in turn I do get more recognition, which allows me to get access to more cars, so I can make more videos. So that's about it, and now let's take a look at the interior. Okay, so to get into the interior, you do have easy entry and access. So you just put your hand behind the handle over here and it unlocks the car. And here's the interior of the GLS 450. So for 2022, there is only one change for the interior also, and that's the addition of two new colors. So you have the Espresso Brown, and basically two tones, so black and Espresso Brown, and the other version is black and white. But that's about it. That's the only change in the interior. And now let's take a look at the door trim. So you have pretty nice and good quality material over here. I think this is MB-Tex and not real leather, because I can feel it's a bit harder than normal leather, but it's softer than most of the plastics. So I think this is the MB-Tex material. Then over here you have all your seat controls with the memory seating, and you have heated and ventilated seats. And this one I think is to move your passenger seats. So if I click this and then move this controls over here, you can see the front passenger seats move, and that's how you control it. Maybe if you are a chauffeur, you can use that system. Then the wood trim over here, I do like it. It's open pore wood. That's my favorite, by the way. I don't like the ones which have the glossy finish. The open pore is my favorite. I think this one is anthracite with the open pore oak wood. I think that's the name for it. And over here you have a nice chrome detailing, which below that has the ambient lighting. Currently it's not on. I'll show it to you later when we sit inside. Then here you have the leather. So this one is upgraded real leather. If you want, you can get the Napa leather as well, but that only comes in black, and obviously that is a much softer leather. But here then you have your nice door handles with your locking. Then you have your controls for your windows with your side mirror controls. Then down below you do have this soft touch plastic material. It's not very scratchy, but it's pretty high quality. Then here you do have some storage spaces with a cup holder, and you also have your button for the tailgate. Then we come to the seats. So the seats are the standard design. There's no changes in that. And this one, like I told you, has the macchiato beige, and the seats are pretty nice and soft, and the smell of the leather is pretty nice as well. And down below you do have this lumbar adjustment, and you also have illuminated sill plates. You do have some control here, so this is for your handbrake and your light controls, and that's it. So now let's jump inside the cockpit or the interior, and I'll let you know everything over there. Okay, so we are here in the interior of the GLS 450, and let's start up the systems. So you have your start stop button right over here, and when you press that, you do get a sort of animation with the GLS and the background. And here we are. So let's start with the dashboard quality. So the dashboard quality is nice and soft. I think this is real leather, I'm not sure, or maybe it's MB-Tex, but it is nice and soft. It's much softer than the material over here, but you do have some stitching on it, as you can see, which goes all the way over here, and overall nice and soft. And then you have that same open pore wood finish right over here. Then the air vent design, I do like it. Many people say they don't like it though, they like the circle ones, but these are also pretty nice and smart looking though, and I like it. Then you have the ambient lighting, which I wanted to show you. Then you can see over here the ambient lighting starts from here and it moves all the way around the car. And the Mercedes ambient lighting system, I think, is one of the best. The car looks really nice in the whatever colors you choose from in the ambient lighting, especially at night though. Then this one has the air vent over here. This is not an air vent though. Many might believe that is, but that's not. The air vent is only this one. For the driver's side. Let's start with the steering wheel now. So you do get two designs of steering wheel. This is the standard steering wheel, and you do get a sports steering wheel which has a flat bottom. But you have in this one, this is the standard one with the upgraded wood on top, and the side part is in leather. I do like the sportier version more because of the flat bottom, and it looks a lot better as well. But that's about it. Then you have your standard 12.3-inch displays in the front, and this is the older style design of the Mercedes. The new design language is basically the one in the S-Class and the new C-Class, with the new central screen right in the middle, right over there. So basically you can change all the display designs and everything if you want. And then you have some controls for your windshield. This is for your gear selector, and the steering wheel itself is an electrically operated one. Then let's come to the center part. So this is basically your MBUX system. You have your phone navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, everything. You go into comfort. You have your ambient lighting, seat comfort, all that stuff. You can get info. You have to start the car for that. So you can check your engine, data, consumption, off-road score, manual, all that stuff. Then you have your vehicle settings. In that you have a lot of stuff like the heads-up display, which you can turn on if you want. And you can see the heads-up display has just turned on right over there. And it's a pretty huge heads-up display though, and it showcases a lot of stuff. Then you have your assistance vehicle lights system. In the vehicles, you can go into dynamic select. If you want an individual, you can do all that stuff. Then you have your you go into system. Then you can check your styles and display. You have a lot of stuff. You have classic, then you have sport, so that changes the display over here. Then you have a progressive one, which again changes that and this over here. Then you have an ambient lighting adjustment and that stuff, but I like the classic display a lot more, so it changes overall. Then that's about it. Then here you have the climate controls and the hazard as well, passenger airbag details, and that is one thing. So it's basically a 2-zone up front. Then down below, let me just turn on the flash for you guys. So you have a wireless charger with 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket. So you have the heated and cooled cup holders, and you can see the ambient lighting inside changes according to what you're choosing. And this one has the smokers package, so that's why they have given you an ashtray. Then here you have your touchpad to control the main display itself. Then you have your dynamic control, which obviously it controls your off-road sport. You can do that. Then this is for your volume control. Right over here you have some parking sensors. If you click that, I think I'll have to start the car for that, so let me just do that. So that for your parking sensors, you can just put it into reverse as well, and you can see it shows the camera systems for the rear. So it has a blinds or a full 360 system as well, and you can see the guidelines will move when I move the steering wheel. You also have a front view. So this is the front wide angle view, this is the front normal view, this is a full 360 which shows you all the corners of the vehicle. This is the rear wide angle, and this is the standard rear. But that's about it. Then you have some shortcut buttons all around. You have this palm rest over here to control the touch screen. And like I told you, this has the standard air suspension, so you can control that from here if you want to lower it or increase the height. But that's it. Then you have one more thing I do like about the Mercedes SUVs is that the grab handle also has the ambient lighting integrated inside, and it's a nice chunky grab handle with pretty nice soft leather all around it. Then you have the central armrest, which is pretty nice and decent size. You have one USB-C, but that's it. Then the glove box is also nice and huge. It is lined with felt as well, so anything you put inside won't scratch up. Up top you have your controls for the light, so that is how the light system looks. And you also have the controls for your sunroof as well, but instead of using that, if you want, there's another way to control this huge panoramic sunroof and the blinds as well. So all you have to say is, hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Close the sun blinds. And you can see that closes all the sun blinds over there, basically the sunroof. And if you have for some reason it's not closing the rear sun blinds though, but you do have the option of doing it without touching the sunroof control. You have some decent size visors with your vanity mirror and a small light up top. Then let's talk about the space in this car. The seats are pretty comfortable. I am on the largest side, and I feel comfortable in this SUV, and that's to be expected. The GLS is a huge SUV, and the headroom, as you can see, I have a lot. I am 6'4" or 195 centimeters, and I have a lot of space, and I think I can easily do a long journey in this SUV while driving it. It's pretty comfortable. So now that was the front of the interior. Now what we'll do is jump in the back seats and I'll show you the space over there. Okay, so let's start with the rear passenger space now. And one thing I wanted to show you is this one has soft close door, so you can see it will close automatically, and that's a nice feature. So let's start with the rear door trim now. So the rear door trim has similar materials as in the front, so that same soft touch material over here and the same market beige soft leather here. You have the handle here with your window controls, and these are your seat controls for obviously these rear seats. The bench option currently, if you want, you can get a captain's chair as well, so that means you don't have the middle part and you have an open space in the middle. You have your same open pore wood finish right over here with your speakers, and you have some good amount of storage space as well. This one looks like it also has the wireless headrest or the headphones. You do have illuminated sill plates, and the seat leather quality is also pretty nice. You do have the isofix points, but I think they're hidden inside this part over here. I think you have to remove that, but that's about it. Let's jump into the back seat now and take a look at the space. Okay, so I'm in the back seat of the GLS 450, and for some reason I think I have less space than I had in the GLE and in the back seats. Maybe it's due to the addition of the rear third row, that's why there is a space difference. So the front seat is set to my driving position, and I told you I am 6'4" or 195 centimeters. I do have an okay amount of knee room, but I did have more knee room in the GLE, so that's weird by the way. Up top, the headroom also I'll just show it to you. So the headroom is also pretty okay. My head is not banging or something, and I'm pretty comfortable, so that's a nice thing. But that's about it in terms of the space. Let's talk about some of the features. So you have an air vent over here and up top as well. You do have the grab handle with your reading lights over there as well. And this part over here has this wood finish on the seat backs with the ambient lighting. I'll just show it to you from here. It's much more easier to see. So I think that's an optional extra. And over here you have the seat back pockets, which are the aeroplane style, and they're pretty okay, but they do feel a bit flimsy to me. Then over here you have your climate control system. So I think this is a 2-zone. Let me just check. So 3-zone, that means one zone is for obviously the rear passengers. You can control it from here. Then in terms of the armrest, this one, like I told you, since it has the bench seating, you do get an armrest, nice and comfortable. It has a storage space inside as well, and I do like how they have integrated the cup holders, so they are nicely neatly hidden. If you want, you can use that like that, but that's it. And since that was all there is to show in the second row, what we'll do now is take a look at the third row. To take a look at the third row, I'm here at the passenger side of the car, so that it'll be easier to show all the features over there. So to move this ahead, you have this button over here which you just pull up, and the seat electrically moves forward. It does take some time for the seat to move in front, and you can see it just takes its time. There we go. Now it is fully ahead, and you have your access to the third row. But obviously, like I told you, these rear seats are set to my sitting position, and basically behind me nobody can sit if that seat is in that position. So maybe if there is someone shorter in the front, they can move the seat a bit, and then you can easily sit 2 adults at the back. But the quality for the rear third row of seats is pretty nice. You have your USB-C controls, and this is the same for the other side as well. You do have USB-C controls. You have a cup holder over here, and up top you can see we also have the climate control vent for the third row, and you also have a light up top. But that's about it, and that's all there is to show in the third row. Okay, so that was all there is to show on the GLS 450. So what do I think about the SUV? I think it's not called the S-Class of the SUVs for no reason. It justifies that by being one of the most comfortable and one of the most luxurious inside. This side of the Rolls-Royce and the Maybach, obviously they are a lot more comfortable. But if you want a sportier driving characteristics, then you have the option for going for the AMG version or basically the X7. So you have that option. In terms of size, this is bigger than the X7, but it's smaller than the Escalade. The Escalade is just huge. But overall, I think it's a good family SUV, and if you know that you will be using the third row a lot, I think it's a no-brainer choice. You should just go ahead and buy it. So that's all I have to say about it. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, do leave a like, and also do subscribe to the channel as well. Do let me know in the comments also what features of the GLS you did like, and also do turn on your notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye-bye.